Revolution, learn more about this platform. Register for this diploma, connect with us, we will learn together.
Hello learners, welcome to this session. The topic of today is in accordance to World Food Day that we are celebrating today, that is on 16th of October. The topic of the discussion today is food waste, causes and consequences. This topic is a part of the course MST 017, that is Challenges to Sustainable Development, of the course Master of Arts in Sustainability Science. Learners, as you are aware that today we are celebrating World Food Day. Food is the basic necessity of life. Every year we celebrate Food Day on 16th of October. One of the most important issues related to food is wastage of food. We waste food at various stages, right from the production to its consumption. Let us see in the session today that what are the causes of food wastage, how does it occur, and what are the consequences. Learners, we know food, that is an integral part of our life. We cannot sustain without food. This is the basic necessity of food. Food choices vary across regions, across countries. The type of the food comes in the form of the cereals, fruits, vegetables, dairy products, meat, processed food, canned food, fast food. So many types of food nowadays we find around us. But altogether we can say that food is essential for our living. You must have heard about roti, kapda or makan. So if we talk about the sequence, it comes like roti, that is the food which is the most important thing, without which we cannot survive. Another thing is mindful eating, the term which is new and which is now getting attention nowadays. Why do we say mindful eating? Because it is not just the physical appetite that we satisfy when we eat, but food, the way we are eating, the way we are growing our doing our agriculture, or the way the crops are grown, the way the food is cooked, and how do we consume it, how do we eat it, it is all part of mindful eating. So we have a kind of a relationship with food. It is not just the commodity that we are eating just for the survival, but we have our cultural, social connections with the food that we are eating. And therefore it is very essential that we practice mindful eating. We must be aware that what we are eating, what are the ingredients, what are food quality standards, how the food is produced, how does it, how much nourishment does it have, what vitamins, nutrients and minerals are there in that particular food, what time is the best suitable time for eating certain foods, how do we maintain the timetable of the food that we are consuming, of the different meals that we take throughout the day. So mindful eating is very important. It is not just engulfing whatever you are getting. So it is characterized by different features like the type of the food, the time when it is being eaten, how it is grown, how it is harvested, how it is cooked. That is also very important. And another important thing related to food is that it reflects our culture. You must have noticed that food is actually the initiation of various conversations. We talk about food. It reflects our culture. It reflects the culinary skills of the different tribes, of different communities. They tell a lot about the ancient stories associated with food. So food actually binds us. We can go on talking endlessly about the different types of foods that are consumed by people in different geographical locations. So, and also whenever in a region you find that particular type of vegetable is being grown and how particular type of the you can say item is being prepared, so there's a story associated with it. In the drought prone regions you find the dishes and the culinary arts specifically which do not involve much use of the water. Whereas in the places where there is a lot of flooding occurring every year, there you will find the crops which are grown in the water abundant conditions. How they are cooking, how they are storing, and the method in which the food is cooked also will tell you a lot about the society, the culture, the traditions, the practices, all these things. So it is very interesting to know about the different culinary skills of the people across the globe. What beverages are they making? What the same vegetable is cooked in different styles in different parts of the world. So, and that the style actually is a function of the climate, weather conditions, geographical locations. So many factors govern it. So it is important for us to understand that it is just not a part, a sabji, a fruit, a cereal is not something, a commodity. But when you look at it, you will find various angles associated with it. So coming back to World Food Day, why does it occur that we are celebrating World Food Day? It is actually 1945 when UN Food and Agriculture Organization was set up, and under this, on 16th October, the Food Day is celebrated. Why? To make the people aware about the various issues related to food. We take it up for so granted that we are so used to eating food every day, but we are not aware about the various issues which are associated with it. How it is grown, how does it reach to our table? Do we know the life cycle from farm to our plates? What happens? How much of the resources are being consumed? What makes a good food? How much nourishment it should have? How does the requirement of the food vary according to gender, according to livelihoods, according to age? What are these factors? So, to spread awareness regarding food, to know that there are various millions of people who die because of hunger every day. Hunger is such an important issue. Food security is a human right. We have a right to have access to food. All this we know because on this day, on 16th of October, every year we celebrate World Food Day. It comes with a theme every year. It makes an effort to spread the awareness about the different food choices, the sustainability of the food systems that we are having, and the manner in which the food should be consumed and how we can encourage individuals to go for mindful eating. That is one of the motto of celebrating this day. Now coming back to this year, today, the theme of the World Food Day 2024 is Right to Food for a Better Life and a Better Future. When you look at this term, you get various keywords in it. First is right to food. Availability, stability, accessibility, and affordability. These are the pillars of the food. Every individual on this planet has a right to get food. It shouldn't be so costly that people cannot afford it. It shouldn't be so inaccessible that everybody cannot get it. It should not be so skewedly distributed that it is not available everywhere. So we have to check. It should be available, it should be accessible, it should be affordable, and it should be stable. So, and why this right? For a better life and better future. In order to have healthy population, in order to have healthy society, it is very important that people have knowledge about food. They must have and food is not simple as we say that you are eating 3 meals a day. That means you can say that your food requirements are met, because it has a whole it has a lot of conditions associated with it. So how do we ensure that we are eating the right food at the right time? The timing is also very important. What is the age and what kind of food are we eating? Is it rich in carbs? Is it rich in vitamins, minerals, proteins? What? The time of the food consumption, not only on your lifespan basis, but also when you look at it from the daily angle perspective. What are you eating morning? What are you eating at night? What are you eating in the evening? These all things make up the individuals who are healthy, and so as to have a better future. Because our foundation, our fuel for living is food. Whatever tasks we are doing today is because of the food that we are eating. Our body, our metabolism, our health, our functioning, our organ functioning, everything is related to the type of food that we are consuming. So in line with this list granted. So one of the most important issues that we see all around, that we know also, and we are a part of it also, that is food wastage. It has been seen that the food is wasted in households, it is wasted in social gatherings, it is wasted from the production stage, that is the agricultural stage, to your harvesting stage, and finally when it is following through the various distribution channels. So in a simple sense, what do we mean by food wastage or loss is something, the food loss and waste is food which is not eaten, which doesn't enter into our bodies, which is not consumed. So either it is soiled or it is infected with pests, or it is diseased, whatever be the reason, it is not eaten. And according to the statistics, if we go, about 1/3 of the world's food is thrown away. We spent lot of resources, lot of energy for growing the food. But unfortunately, after the production phase, during harvesting, during packaging, during distribution, 1/5 of the world food is wasted because of lack of so many factors. Then if you compare our individuals, if we talk about India, on an average, every individual in our country wastes 50 kg of food annually. Every year, one person in India wastes 50 kgs of food. So you can imagine how much of the food loss it is being caused. And on the other hand, we have the problem where people are dying of hunger. We have a huge number of the people who are undernourished, the children who are malnourished. So it is a dichotomy. So it is a challenge actually. How do we ensure food security is one thing, but providing them good quality food is another thing. So despite having made so much of progress in agriculture, various type of machineries and we are using, But despite that, what we are seeing all around is that food wastage is occurring. And this is the Sanskrit shlok, you must be knowing about it. Annam na nindyat tadvratam. It means that wastage of the food. Our ancient literature, our ancient sayings, everywhere it is being written that the food wastage is a sin. Anna ka apman is a great sin. It should not be done. And it establishes the importance of pure and healthy food, which is very essential. So, we must seek the solutions that why the food is being wasted. So, if we look at it, why do we waste food? We are not just talking here about the household food wastage, but during agricultural practices and everywhere. So you have to look into the various sectors. Like in agriculture, the food waste may occur because of weather related causes or because of the infection of the face. Then when it is harvested, then also there may be a reason that we do not have the storage facilities. If it is not stored properly, if we do not have adequate equipments, if we do not have adequate refrigeration system also plays an important role. So we need low temperatures for storing certain fruits, certain vegetables, certain grains. But if we do not have the storage facilities, it all goes in vain. Processing, production, harvesting, handling, distribution, packaging, and finally when it comes to our homes. These are the various stages where you find that the food is being wasted. But the largest source of food wastage is in the production waste. While it is being produced, and at that time we have heard about the various stories which tell us about the crop failure or disease infection. The floods have occurred suddenly, or drought has occurred, there is no rainfall, the farmer is already laden with so much of debts, or there is a certain calamity which has occurred. So production phase is one of the most important phase, and for that if you want to check about it, or if you talk about the measures, then we need proper monitoring, we need forecasting, we need the education and the training of the farmers in this regard. So, and also providing them insurance and providing certain mechanisms by which they are able to incur these losses also. And at one end, to a certain extent, they must be in a position to see that the food is, or while at the production stage also, the food is not wasted. The crop doesn't fail. It should be the maximum yield which is possible on a given farm. Now let us on a brief note, let us understand that what may cause the food loss. Overproduction. Now look at it from the angle of the farm and also see that at various, India is like number one in various food crops. For example, we grow rice, wheat, maize, also certain fruits. We are number 1 or 2 in certain fruits also. We produce surplus. But then why it happens that many people in much, and we do not have enough facilities for storing it, or we fail while distributing it, then it leads to the loss of the food. There are losses during processing of the feed, removal of the husk, or when it needs to be treated with certain. We process, we do not have the equipments, we have electricity failures, the farmers do not have the facilities, and various times we are also not aware of the modern methods of handling and processing of the various types of food crops. So in that case, what happens is that still we are following the rudimentary methods of addressing the food related issues and handling the food in that manner. So at that stage also we find that there is a huge amount of the food that is being wasted. One of the important things which is coming up nowadays is discarding ugly produce. Now this is because of the retailers and the malls where we go and purchase the fruits and the vegetables which we want them to be of the perfect luster, glow, and the perfect shape. Now what happens is that when you in the agricultural fields, when the certain crops are coming, they may be slightly distorted in shape. They may not be that lustrous, that glowing is not there. So in the shelves of the supermarkets and the retail stores where you go to purchase, you must have seen that all the fruits and the vegetables are perfect in the sense that they are of identical size, they are of identical shapes, they look similar, and therefore what happens is that these big companies, they discard the ugly produce. So if the potato is not of the desired shape or the color, it is a potato, but then it is discarded. So various food crops are discarded in this manner. There are equipment malfunctioning occurring at various stages, and also it is leading to food losses. Misunderstanding expiration dates is also very important. We are the consumers. We purchase so many eatables from the market, and we are uninformed customers because we have no idea about what does it mean when it say best before. You must be reading about these labels in the food items. And whenever we see that the best before date is over, we tend to throw away that food item. But we are not told that the best before doesn't mean that according to food safety, it is of no use. Because there are 2 days best before dates and use by dates. When we have the use by dates, that means that after that particular date, the food item should not be consumed, should not be eaten, because then it is a safety issue with it. We may fall sick. But best before date tells us only about the flavor, and it tells that the item, the bread, the jam, the pickle is best before at this stage. But even if that date is over, it doesn't mean necessarily that you have to throw it. So who will tell us? There are various products, which you can use after the best before date also, because it will not be rotten. It is totally safe to use it even after that. So, and then large portion sizes. We must have seen lot of food wastage occurring in marriages, social functions, in the social gatherings. That is so common to us. We all are aware. Over purchasing and over preparation at the household level, at the community level, we have seen, and it is a common practice. Lack of awareness. People are not aware about that the food wastage is such a big concern, because we tend to grab it, we tend to over purchase it, we do not plan our meals properly. Transit delays, marketing strategies, overstocking, improper storage, weather and pest because of climate change, and the irregularities in the weather that we are seeing all around. It is also contributing a lot towards wastage of the food. The type of packaging. The packaging of the food should be such that even if you use a portion of it, the rest, if it is stored in fridge or if it is stored in dried open spaces, then it should not get spoiled. But unfortunately, when it comes to so many brands which we are seeing all around, even if you open a part of it, consume a very little portion of it, the rest goes waste because it gets spoiled. It should not be made in such a manner that it gets spoiled after a very small portion of it is consumed. So when you just look at all these causes which you have just discussed, there are of course the causes of the food wastage related to our processing, handling, of course, but there are other factors also which are related to regulations, which are related to behavior, which are related to our policies, which are related to the influence of the markets. That is also very important. So when we seek the solutions to this food wastage, we have to consider all these factors which we have just now seen. And why do we worry about food wastage? Because it is a loss of natural resources. We spend so much of energy, water. We are already scarce of water. Agriculture is one of the biggest consumer of water. So much of the water, underground water, is being exploited for irrigating our fields. we take in so much of the water, and after that if we are wasting it, it is a waste. It does contributes to climate change, it leads to degradation of land, and of course it is a harm to biodiversity. So these are some of the consequences of food wastage which we have seen. And therefore, learners, you must be aware about the sustainable food systems, which is very important. And you must need to diversify your kitchens. We need to look beyond the traditional food crops. Out of 6,000 species all over the world, we are only utilizing 150 species. The monocultures which is coming, this is also a great dent, and in this regard it is also very important for us to know about, you must be knowing Sustainable Development Goal 2, that is zero hunger. So on this World Food Day, that is 16th of October, we must remind ourselves that the Sustainable Development Goal 2 has the motto of end hunger and achieve food security and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. What is important today is to look into how the food is being grown, when it is being grown, who grows it, how does it come to our plates, and how do we consume it. All these facets are related to food, and we must think about it. And this SDG goal number 2 has 8 indicators, and these 8 indicators are related to various aspects of the food. Sustainable agriculture will come into this, the type of the farming which we do will come into this, the health of the farmers, the type of the crops which are being grown, everything will come into this. So in this session today we have discussed about the importance of food, the causes of food wastage, and let us take a pledge today on the World Food Day 2024 that we will make all efforts to minimize the food wastage at various levels. Thank you so much.